name is Arnes. I'm halfway through my first year at Leeds Beckett University. I'm doing business studies, and today I'm making a vlog about marketing environments and how that affects certain businesses in different ways. For my business, I'm using Asda, and then I'll talk about how marketing environments can affect and influence your business decisions. Before we start the video, I'd just like to walk you through what I'm going to be talking about today. First of all, I'm going to give you a definition of marketing. I will then go on to outline essential information about Asda, which is the business that I'm using in today's video. I will then talk about the different environments, of which there's two, macro and micro environments, and I'm going to relate them to Asda and how it affects Asda as a whole, and how it affects the decisions made by Asda's CEOs. And just to finish the video, I'll just summarise the key points. So, what is marketing? Well, according to the CIM, marketing is the management process of anticipating, identifying and satisfying customer needs profitably. That was just a short definition by CIM, really. But essentially what it is identifying a need from a customer or a business. If there's a problem that needs solving, then developing that idea further and working out whether you're charging the right price for the right solution or item or service. Moving on to talk about Asda.
Surprise, motherfucker!
So briefly about Asda. Asda got bought by Walmart in 1999 for 6.7 billion. It still continues to grow over the UK at around 30 store increase every year. We're standing at this point at around 564 stores across the UK and rising. Asda's annual sales are standing at 22.4 billion per year, as well as an operating profit of 1 billion. Over the past 3 years, Asda has shown a slight market share decrease, as in 2013, market share stood at 14%, and 3 years down the line, in 2016, it was at 12.4%, which is not due to pricing, because Asda's ethos is to have low everyday prices no matter what. So Asda's main competitors are supermarkets such as Morrison's, Tesco and Sainsbury's, which are all in the same industry. However, Asda has the most down-market customer base of the whole industry, which means that the target market for Asda is the lower socio-economic group, young families, which is why often in the store that I work in, Asda Living, they have great deals on like baby essentials such as nappies, milk. The product range, depending on which store you go to, can range from Asda's own George clothing line, the home department, electronics, food obviously in the supermarkets, Asda mobile store. Marketing environments. One of the two marketing environments is the macro environment. It has everything to do with the external factors outside of the business that can influence the decisions made by a company. All the external factors can influence the sort of strategies that business produce to overcome certain challenges. Macro environments are best described by the PEST acronym, which is political and legal, economic, socio-cultural and technological. For example, a socio-cultural issue could be the increase in obesity, and the way Asda would tackle that is by providing extra sizes for clothing. So for example, in our living store, our sizes go up to 26 in women's and 5XL for men's. However, online you can access sizes up to 36 for women and up to 8XL for men's. This way, Asda can target different parts of their target market. They're not helping the problem of increasing obesity, but they're trying to help out in a way that's beneficial, obviously for Asda and the people themselves, because obviously they still need to wear clothing. An example of a political and legal issue would be European Union trade deals. For example, the UK and the EU used to be in a TTIP deal, which is a transatlantic trade and investment partnership. It allows countries within that deal to trade without any costs, essentially. However, as they're being owned by Walmart and Walmart being based in the USA, Trump has just backed the USA out of the TTIP deal, which means Asda will be paying more for imports and exports, therefore their expenses will be higher. However, I don't think they'll rise the prices in their stores because, as I've said previously, their ethos is to always keep the prices low because that's the sort of target market that they're aiming at. The second part of the marketing environments is the microenvironment, and these are the factors that are within the immediate area of the business. The certain elements and factors that influence the freedom of decision making and the performance of the business. So the microenvironment includes factors and elements such as your competitors, your customers, distribution channels, the general public and your suppliers. The microenvironment can be looked at and broken down by the stakeholder analysis. Basically, it breaks it down into three specific areas, which is internal stakeholders, connected stakeholders and external stakeholders. Your internal stakeholders would be your staff and the people that work for you. Your connected stakeholders would be your distributors, suppliers, shareholders, customers, and the externals would be press, media, pressure groups. By helping out your local communities, by raising money for charities in the local area, Asda stands out from the rest of the retailers because they don't really do that, therefore they come up on top of their competitors in my opinion. So just to summarise this vlog, the macro environments are out of the business's reach. They can prepare contingency plans for them, they can prepare certain strategies to avoid whatever's happening if it's going to affect the business negatively, or they can prepare in different ways if it's going to affect the business in a good way. Therefore, in conclusion, the macro environments are out of the business's reach. There's nothing a business can do to interfere with the macro environment. They can just work along with it. Whereas the micro environments, they're at hand's reach. So, for example, you can make sure that you pay your suppliers on time, so they're happy. You can make sure that you stay in the good media, so they don't write bad stories about you, so you maintain your reputation. Thanks for watching and peace out.